Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. The story was made by a throwaway account in the Relationship Advice subreddit. The post is titled, "Mom had an affair 18 years ago. I, 18M, am the product of it. My dad just informed me of all this and told me he will not pay for my college, while my siblings got their college experience paid by our dad." Pretty much as the title says, I have no idea how to process all this, and I am completely unprepared for what lies ahead. Both my older brother and sister went to the same college. My brother graduated 2 years ago, and my sister is set to graduate in 2 years. Both had their college paid for by our dad. Dad paid all their college expenses, including rent, food, their cars, pocket money, you name it. My brother has a job now, his own place, lives together with his fiancée, and has his life together. My sister already has a good paying job, and my dad still pays for almost everything for her. I got accepted to the same college, which was always the plan, and was looking forward to talking with my parents about the next steps and asking them to help me the same way they did for my siblings. I always assumed they had money put aside for my college the way they had for my siblings. Instead, I was met with a story about my mom's cheating, how I am the result of her cheating, and how my dad is not willing to support me anymore moving forward. Dad told me that mom had 18 years to let me know and prepare me for the future, but obviously she never did. He said it was never his place to say anything since I am not his son, and he didn't want to interfere with mom's parenting. Apparently, my grandparents know I am not dad's biological son, but they haven't bothered to tell me anything either. My siblings had no idea, and they are as surprised as I am because there was never a hint of anything being off. I might be naive, but I always thought I had a great relationship with my dad. We go to see sports together, we go fishing together, he tutored me when I had difficulties with math, he taught me to drive. I never got a hint he stored resentment towards me. I mean, he gave me my name and has explained what my name means, and he was very proud of it. It's a story he tells from time to time. He likes to talk about stuff like that about me. My mom has never said a word about anything, and apparently she was supposed to have the talk with me, but she never did. I feel abandoned and unprepared for what lies ahead. I am not even sure I will be able to go to college anymore. I always assumed my parents would pay for it. I've never had a job, and I am not sure what job I can even get to support me through college. I have no idea how to apply for loans. All my mom has done is cry and apologize, but nothing of substance. She has no idea how to help me. I don't even know if I am welcome home anymore. It's all up in the air. I feel shame leaving my room, and if I am asked to move out, I don't know where to go. I don't have any savings, maybe $400 put together. I am angry at my mom, and I am confused about where I stand with my dad. There's a man out there who is my father that never wanted to have anything to do with me. I feel rejected, and I have no idea what to do to fix this situation. Does anyone have any idea what to do here? Do I apologize to my dad? What do I say to him? I don't know. I've been stuck in my room these past few days, reading and browsing Reddit. I have no idea what to do. Update. Sorry for disappearing. Nothing bad happened to me. I managed to talk with my mom yesterday, but I chickened out halfway through what I had to say. The good news is that I am not being kicked out or disowned, etc. Thank you for all your support, everyone. I will follow through and call financial aid at my college in a few hours and take it from there. My grandpa had a stroke a week ago, and my dad is helping my grandma set up a live-in nurse, so he wasn't around yesterday. I will let you know how I manage. Thank you again. Update 2, sorry for not updating. My grandpa passed away yesterday morning. Nothing happened to me, but my situation is a secondary concern right now. Regardless, I think I will be alright. Thanks to your amazing support and help. My sister is aware of everything and told me not to worry. She has my back and I have her support. I promise to update when and if there are any significant changes. Right now, I need to support my grandma. Thank you again to everyone. User M. White said, also, if he truly will not help, apply for emancipation. That way, you will qualify for grants and financial aid. Under this comment, a deleted user commented the following. Also, explain your situation to the college or university. I ran away from home when I was 16 because it was either run away or get beaten to death. I explained my situation to the university I applied to and they helped me out. My tuition was covered by financial aid and grants, and I worked while going to school to cover living expenses. I was able to graduate debt-free. Talk to them. They might be able to help. User No Nonsense said, this is all incredibly disturbing. What puzzles me is if your father feels this way about paying for college, why did he spend any money raising you? It costs roughly over $200,000 to raise a kid to the age of 18. It's odd that he's feeling this way and didn't walk away 18 years ago when this happened. He raised you as his son, yet he has this bitterness he's holding against your mother over college tuition for you. It's almost like it's her punishment for her betrayal. But you are the only one being truly punished and you did nothing wrong. It's just so bizarre. As for you figuring out your college financing, I recommend you go to the local community college for 2 years as they are relatively inexpensive. Then transfer to a state school. Make sure all your community college credits will transfer. I'm assuming you're in the USA. Good luck. User T-Brave said, your mom and dad both failed you. If this was dad's plan all along and he knew your mom hadn't told you and prepared you for the lack of support with your education, that is him getting back at your mom by sticking it to you. Shame on both of them. Neither one of them stepped up to be a mature adult and you're the one who is hurt. There have been some great suggestions here on how to financially move forward. Do your grandparents have the ability to help? Staying home is going to be awkward to say the least. I wish you well. You didn't deserve such bad treatment. A few days later, OP provided an update post. I am not sure if this is what you want to hear, but things are more or less back to a normal state considering other events. Unfortunately, my grandpa died at the beginning of this week, and I am still processing it. I did manage to talk with both my mom and dad, and I now know where I stand in relation to them as well as my siblings. I am not sure I would have had the courage to say what I needed to say if it weren't for the amount of help and advice in the comments. I think it is safe to say that both my parents love me, and what happened 2 weeks ago was an overreaction to a fight between them. It makes me uncomfortable knowing I was unaware of my own environment, but a stranger in the comments could tell me what was happening in my life with only a few lines of text from me. Many comments were spot on about what is happening in my life. So far, I have gone through about 40% of the comments, but I have given up. There are too many for me to keep up with. The conclusion is that I am definitely going to college. It will be the college I have always wanted to attend, and I will have the same experience as my siblings. The money to pay for all this already exists. My family is not going bankrupt as suggested. My dad just had a mental breakdown due to all the issues surrounding my grandpa's passing and his fight with my mom. Even if my dad had gone through with his decision, my grandma let me know that my grandpa left me and my siblings a sum we will have to split between the 3 of us, enough to put me through college. What started the entire scandal was poor timing on my part. My parents had just had a fight when I showed up saying, "Hey, pay for my college." My parents were talking about us, their children, and mom said something along the lines of, "To think you wanted to split up when I came back pregnant," or something like that. I wasn't there. This is what she told me. I guess dad was talking about how proud he was of his children, and mom wanted to express her gratitude for dad raising me as his own. Dad took it as the affair was the best decision I ever made, or something like that. Their fight escalated from there, and mom told dad something like, "What makes you think any of them are yours?" Yeah, it went downhill from there fast. Shortly after that, my dumb face showed up and here I am. Dad and mom have since made up. Mom is still a mess, and dad is not handling my grandpa's passing well either. I did talk with my siblings. My sister raised a storm and let loose on the phone while blasting my parents. My brother was calmer but made his feelings known in no uncertain terms once he got back home. My grandpa's passing sort of kept spirits calm, I guess, and shifted the focus to dealing with that. Reading the comments was a mind-opening experience. I felt unprepared for the world out there. Many have asked how I had no idea how to apply for loans or grants. Well, in my defense, when you go year after year knowing you have nothing to worry about, that your college is as good as paid for, you don't really have to worry about anything else. Of course, I knew there were loans and other things students had to be aware of, but it didn't apply to me. I went from "I am going to college, can't wait," to "You're not my son, and I will not pay for your college" in less than 24 hours. Others have been prepared for this. At the very least, they knew they had to get a loan or find a job or look for a place to live. For me, it was a sudden change in reality. Going through the comments, I managed to put together a list of various tips and tricks. What jobs are available for students, how to find a place to live, how to get a credit card, a bank account, a cell phone plan, and so on. Really good stuff that I think will help me even after things return to normal. My parents have been called more names than they go by, which was uncomfortable to read, and I haven't even read all the comments. I can't even imagine what else lies in those comments waiting for me. Dad is very sorry and apologetic about his reaction and behavior. I understand his reaction, but I still feel hurt by it. I understand he was not in the best state of mind, but I can't control my feelings either. We will be alright, and this hasn't irreparably damaged our relationship. Mom hasn't handled everything that well, but she is coming around and she answered some more questions for me. When Mom had an affair years ago and got pregnant with me, my parents started divorce proceedings. Mom moved in with the man she had the affair with, but after a few months, that guy decided he wanted nothing to do with it. He kicked Mom out and she had nowhere to go. So my grandparents took her in because she was still the mother of their grandchildren. Mom and Dad got back together after a lot of work. Dad took me as his own, and that's been my life since then. The man who is my biological father is not in the picture anymore. Dad didn't really know who he was, and Mom hasn't heard from or seen him ever since. He was fully aware Mom was pregnant with his child. I guess he had more important things to do, but it doesn't sound like he was about to cure world hunger. She met him in a bar, not at a fundraiser, and I don't feel a need to know any more about who he is. I've thought about the matter over the last 2 weeks since I've been aware of everything and haven't really felt a desire to know who he is, where he is, if he is still alive, or if I have other siblings out there. It was suggested that I buy a DNA kit. Maybe I could find him that way, but I think I will avoid doing this specifically so I don't find him or he doesn't find me. As far as I'm concerned, I have a mom and dad and a brother and a sister, and that's my family. Moving forward, I do plan on getting a job and becoming more independent, but not in an attempt to distance myself from my family. Rather, it's to feel like I wouldn't be lost in the world if my family suddenly disappeared. My mom admits I've been babied way more than my siblings and that they should have prepared me more for what's coming next. I did learn where I stand with my family, and it's safe to say that I am loved and I have options. I thought I was isolated, but my world is wider than I thought. Grandparents, siblings, my aunt, my cousins all have my back. I think my parents are human and they make mistakes. Even though this was not their greatest moment, I think I will look at everything as nothing more than a weak moment in an otherwise wonderful relationship. Thank you. Edit. In my family's cultural background, grandparents call their grandkids nephews as well. Please stop calling me names, it was not a mistake. User Panicked Poodle said, sorry OP, but a big part of becoming an adult is learning that your parents are just flawed human beings. It sounds like you were collateral damage because your parents could never resolve your mom's infidelity. You will all get past it. Let your dad know that you understand this week has been horribly stressful and that people say things they don't mean. I'm so sorry about your grandfather. Under this comment, another user said, meanwhile, my dad knew my brother wasn't his when raising him, though us kids were raised to believe he was. When it came out, my brother basically turned on my dad. His biological father popped up, and my brother was essentially like, no, this is my dad, not the dude who raised me. It hurt my dad something fierce. He doesn't care about blood. That was his kid. To further flip scenarios, the biological dad is wealthy, while our dad worked hard to provide a middle-class life in an upper-class area. College was always questionable for us, but all of a sudden, not for my brother. Despite us having grown up on the West Coast, he turned East Coast elite like his dad. He went to Phillips Academy like many really well-off high schoolers and rubbed shoulders with the children of those who pull the strings in this country. He decided on NYU after, has been mulling law school after just barely missing a Rhodes Scholarship, and currently works as a legal aid pulling in $30K a month. So I guess good for him, but he basically abandoned us for himself. He's shaped up some in recent years and talks to our dad more. He straight up cut him out for the first few years, but just calls him by name, never dad. A falling out with his biological father has helped a little though. He's realized his biological dad measures the success of his children by wealth and status, while our dad just cares if we're happy. My brother is still a piece of work though. User Clay said, your last paragraph is spot on. It's a sobering experience when you realize your parents are winging it just like everyone else. They're human, imperfect, screw up, and hurt the ones they love, just like all of us. I'm sorry you had to find out the way you did. That experience must have really sucked, but hopefully you all move on from there and keep loving each other. Good luck. User Brandon Carlson said, glad to hear that everything is going better and that your family and you have started to work this out. I can't imagine how difficult this must have been for all parties involved, especially you. I'm going to go against the grain of some other comments here and suggest you get that DNA test anyway. Not because you should find the rest of your biological family, but this could change later in life. Also, more importantly, that second half of your genes could contain any number of medical time bombs that you have a right to know about. Since you don't know your bio dad's family medical history, taking the test would tell you if you've been past any genetic predisposition to certain ailments like diabetes, heart disease, cancer, etc. I would look into genetic testing that only covers medical analysis, just to check this stuff out. Best of luck to you at uni. I hope you and your family continue to work things out. This next post was made in the same subreddit by a throwaway account. The post is titled, "Told my husband, 34M, that I wouldn't have children in the USA. I gave him the ultimatum that we would either move or divorce or be child-free. I am a dual citizen in the USA. My husband is American. We have been talking about having children, but the unrest from the election has really changed my mind about having children here ever, no matter the outcome. This is not a financial issue either. I am decently well off from my work. I am an engineer. The issue is, this country literally terrifies me right now. It's not the country I moved to in college. It's horrifying, and every day when I talk to anyone or walk down the street and see someone talking about their political affiliation here, it makes me seize up. I feel like I'm my great-grandma watching the Austrian painter come into power. She described the realization to me once, and man, it feels eerie, and honestly, it doesn't matter who wins. It's that we're surrounded by people whose views disturb me at this point. We're in a red state. I've already begun looking at houses in Canada. I've been telling my husband for a while that I don't think I want to live here anymore. But tonight I put my foot down and told him I don't want to have children here ever. It is honestly a deciding factor. I don't want to raise children here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be pregnant here. He just kept saying, "Why are you being like this?" But I don't know how to explain it better. User Tossout said, "You don't have to explain it better. You are a dual citizen and you can leave easily. He doesn't have to come with you. He may never agree with you, but this decision isn't for him. It's for you and your hypothetical children." Plenty of my family members left America during the Vietnam era for obvious reasons, and no one questions this. History made it obvious. You can leave a country for any reason you want. If he doesn't get it after 3 years of you telling him and he doesn't get it at all, I don't think you're compatible anymore, and that's fine. Under this comment, OP said, "He's always understanding until he isn't when I tell him it's time to leave. He thinks these are all serious issues, but not serious enough to leave for. I love him. I stayed here for him. We've been together for almost a decade." User Apostosaurus said, "I typed out all of the below, but wanted to add this at the top, where you may have a chance of seeing it. Run. Do what I wish I could do. You can work there, but my job wouldn't transition to another country. I also have dual citizenship. My parents moved us to the US when I was a kid. I'm in a blue city in a sort of purple county within a very blue state in the Northwest, and I'm terrified. Washington State has done a great job of providing for residents and in protecting our rights, but there's only so much a state can do. I have 3 kids. Thank God they're all boys. I'm terrified women will lose the right to vote bit by bit, or have to have a man on their bank account, loan, or mortgage, or face mandated dress codes. I had 2 very wanted pregnancies miscarry within a few months in 2020, but both needed medical intervention because they were killing me. One was pills to finish what my body couldn't on its own over several months, and the other was emergency surgery since I was bleeding out. Neither would have been legal in Texas. Will they look up my records and come after me? Will it matter that I'm still heartbroken, or that I can no longer have more kids? Please, please run. Help others once you're gone if you can. Just go now." User Easy Distribution said, "At this point, you need to explain that it's a boundary. It's a boundary because you don't feel safe in your environment anymore, with the whole country being your environment. Tell him it's not anything you will change, and he needs to decide accordingly. He understands you perfectly, but he doesn't want to deal with it and hopes that the more he puts it off, the better his chances will be that you'll change your mind." User Dietrich said, "If you have a pregnancy complication, you'll most likely die, and he'll go replace you with some impressionable, naive, and really young woman. It's like the 1800s for women and our healthcare all over again. It's basically now illegal for us to get life-saving medical care. There are Republican politicians now trying to make it illegal for women to get treated for cancer. Do you all realize how messed up that is? So my advice is for you to get your important personal documents together, get your personal property together, and ghost him. Just leave him. He won't go with you, then leave him here. If he refuses to take you and your safety and emotional needs seriously, then go dump him and find a better husband in another country. The world does not revolve around the United States of America, and American men need to wake up to that reality. Just pack up what you need and go. Don't tell him. Ghost him. And when he asks why later on, you tell him why. Get a divorce. He treated you like your concerns are not real concerns because they were your concerns and not his. Do you realize how egotistical and self-centered he was to do that to you?